Hi, this is Freedom from Condo Planet. I want to welcome you to another episode on real estate investing. Today I want to talk to you about the 4 ways landlords can check for tenant fraud. Successful landlords have best practices in place with respect to tenant screening. It's a big mistake to rely entirely on your intuition when screening tenants. Though you may have that good feeling when you come across a certain tenant, it's important to verify that all the information, all the facts provided in their application lines up and is accurate. Ultimately, you have to exercise caution and due diligence to ensure there are no red flags. Once you notice a red flag, even a small red flag, that's usually enough justification needed to reject an application. We at Condo Planet advise our landlord clients against taking the risk of leasing to people who have lied on their application. That is unacceptable as far as we are concerned. To avoid being a victim of tenant fraud, we strongly suggest you include the following 4 steps as part of your tenant screening process. Firstly, verify the current and previous landlord's identity. It's very easy for tenants to provide fake landlord references. They can ask their friends to pose as a landlord, their current or previous landlord, by providing their phone numbers. It's not hard. How are you, as a landlord, supposed to know the difference? This is where working with a realtor can really pay off. Ask your real estate agent to do some double checks for you. But your real estate agent can easily check the land registry to see if the current or previous landlord's name matches up for you. What they can do is they can check on the registry to see what is displayed, what is the current owner of the address that your tenant claims to live in. Does that match with the application form that they provided you? If there's a mismatch, that's a red flag. That means that tenant is lying about something in most cases. So this is a great way of checking on that to see if the application is accurate. If possible, see if your realtor can find any previous record of when the property your tenant claims to have lived in was rented out. Sometimes in the past, the tenant who's living in their current property may have rented it through the MLS, through the realtor system, and as such, there's a record of it in the system. So that's another way that your realtor can check to see if there's any fraudulent activity going on here or whether your tenant is indeed being honest, which is always great to know. Secondly, the second step landlords should implement in their tenant screening process is they should Google the identity of their tenants. Since we live in the information age, it makes good sense for landlords to use this technology to their advantage. Landlords should conduct their own background checks by typing their prospective tenants' names into Google to see what comes up. What type of reputation do these tenants have? Do they have a criminal history? Perhaps you can do some digging up on the internet. There's a lot of information out there. Landlords should also use social media platforms to verify the tenants who are who they claim to be. Search for them on Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, Google+, just to ensure their names, their jobs, their addresses all match up to what they've provided in their rental application. Thirdly, this is a really critical step. I've learned this the hard way. You need to pull their credit report. Okay? Though all prospective tenants are likely going to submit their credit report to you with their score, landlords need to take further measures. It's very important. Once landlords have checked and verified all the other information provided by the tenant and it's all to their satisfaction, we advise as a final check, you should pull their credit on your own, because nowadays it's crazy. There are fake credit reports out there that look identical to real ones. So documents can be doctored, and it's really important to pull that credit report to make sure that the credit report they provided matches with the report they included with their application. It's an excellent measure to take. And lastly, once you've decided on the tenant, you've agreed to everything, and you're about to meet them, you need to verify their photo identity. Okay? This is really important. Before you sign that binding lease document with them, you need to ask for their photo identification. It's very easy for tenants to be using somebody else's identity, providing their credit reports, their letter reports, their letters of employment and so forth, and pretending to be somebody they're not. And that's a great way of just being rest assured that you've done everything correctly, you should check their photo identity, and that's a great final measure to have in place. Though all tenants risk the possibility of approving bad tenants. What I mean by that is all landlords need to understand that there's the risk of approving a bad tenant, no matter how fine and refined their screening process is. Having said that, by taking these 4 measures that I've just mentioned to you, you will be decreasing your chances of having a bad tenant. This is an excellent way to ensure that you'll find the best tenants possible as a landlord. So I hope you've enjoyed this video. Thanks for tuning in. Talk to you soon.